To start with, I'm not an expert on the subject. It's just that I've been exploring it for some time, and I've picked up a few pointers along the way. And so I thought, well, what can I do to help other people? And so I put together some of the things I've learned and can share them. And my considered opinion is that the best defense against getting scammed is to understand how scams work, and then you can anticipate them and avoid them. Now, everybody here has been targeted. I get targeted 2-3 times a week by these different scams, and I'm sure anybody here can give an anecdote about what has happened or what they encountered. So it's out there. Now, here's one thing. I'll start a sentence and have everybody else complete the sentence. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Yep, that's one hallmark to pay attention to. I can't cover everything. I can't cover every scam there is, because by the time I was done, so they'd be coming up with a new one. I'll cover types of scams, common traits that they have. Oh, by the way, I've got copies of this right here, of the notes. So anybody who wants to take the notes so they can have them in front of you, please do. And then some things they have in common, the methods that the scams work on, how you can protect yourself, some do's and don'ts, and what are called scam baiters, and I'll cover that when I get down there. And let's see. So with the types of scams, as I go over them, the reaction that you might have is, well, who's going to fall for that? Well, people do fall for it, and it's $12 billion a year industry, and these outfits have call centers and investors, so that they can buy let's say 10,000 emails, and if they send out all of these 10,000 messages, if 5% result in a return, they're making money. Okay, so let's see. I put a few of them together: Social Security and IRS. That is where you'll get an email or maybe a phone call or a text, however it may come, to say your Social Security number has been suspended. We found an abandoned car with drugs and guns, and your Social Security number in that. Now, we don't think you're a suspect, so what we're going to do is we're going to suspend your Social Security number and give you a new one. But meanwhile, to protect your money, you need to take your money from your bank account and move it into our safe account. And of course, then you'll never see it again. Similarly with IRS, it'll be you missed out on some of the taxes that you owe, and we're coming after you. And in fact, we have a warrant out for you, and unless you do as we say within the next few minutes, that warrant will issue and you'll be dragged off to jail. Oh, a couple of the little tells that they have is with Social Security, they'll say your number has been suspended. Well, that's not how we talk. It's your account. And with the IRS is a warrant has been issued against your name. Well, that's not, again, we say it's against you, not against your name. And if you don't do as we say, you will be behind the bars. Well, I don't really know anybody who talks like a 1940s gangster movie, but that's the kind of language that you might hear. Okay, so then moving on, the refund or the tech support, very similar, where they'll say, oh yes, well, we're renewing your subscription to something that you never subscribed to, but if you don't want it, we'll give you a refund. And similarly with tech support, they'll say, we have detected that there are viruses on your computer, but we can help you out here. And with either one of those, what they'll do is they'll have you get into your computer, bring up your bank account, share your link, and then that's how they get into your bank account. Let's see. Right, okay. The invoice, oh, I get a lot of those, where, here's your invoice for your order. What? I didn't order this. I don't even know who you are. So that's the idea is then you call them up or text them back or whatever and say, hey, wait a minute, what's going on here? Oh, it's just a mistake. Now that might lead into what I was just mentioning about the refund, or at a minimum, at least they know that that there is a valid recipient on the other end, that there's it is a valid email or a valid phone number, and then they can turn around and sell that. Let's see now, the collections, similar to the IRS. You owe money and we're gonna put you in jail if you don't pay up right now. Let's see, I put bank, PayPal, and Venmo all together. Now that's a real tricky one, because I've gotten it where I got alerts from my bank. It was a legitimate alert from my actual bank, and they were saying that somebody tapped out $39. Well, $39, but the idea was if they could get $39, maybe they could get more. And so my bank was very alert. But then that the aspect of that is so dangerous is you got to be able to figure out, hey, is this a legitimate thing from my actual bank, or is it just somebody who's saying, from PayPal? Again, I get that all the time with PayPal saying, there's money in your account, or here's your latest statement, and I haven't had a PayPal account for 10 years. So that's one to watch out for. The sweepstakes, yes, you won third prize in the grand sweepstakes that you never even heard of, let alone entered. I know people who got sucked into that one. They actually got a check. It looked like a real check from a legitimate source. And
for $8,000.
Actually it wasn't even. It was an odd number. It was like $8,268.29, something like that, yeah. And the idea there is they tell you, we want you to deposit it right away, and then send us X amount of dollars for the withholding tax. And so you deposit the check, and banks have this weird thing where they'll say the funds are available even though the funds have not actually come from the other bank. And it's that interim that the scammers are taking advantage of, so that, okay, now you pay whatever it is, the $385 for the so-called withholding, and then that $8,000 check bounces. Let's see, so, now, the grandson, now there are variations on that. It's a family member. It's where somebody calls up in the middle of the night, Grandma, I was in a car crash and they said that I was DWI and I broke my nose and I need $3,000 bail. The really insidious thing about that one is that with AI, if they get a sample of somebody's voice, enough of a sample, they can make that voice say anything they want. And so with all the different media out there, the TikTok and the Facebook and all the other ones, they can get a sample of somebody's voice and then manipulate that. Now, one way to protect against that is to have code words among family members. Well, it's a great idea, but it's a little hard to implement. I haven't done it myself. But another way to do that is to ask a question that that person would know, or to ask a false question. You remember your dog Bowser? Yeah, well, yeah, you didn't have a dog, or the dog's name was something else, so that you ask them a false question, and they answer it. Oh yes, I remember Bowser. Yeah, well, we didn't have a dog, and so that will clue you in. So that's one to be cautious of. Let's see. Employment. I've had a few of these where looking for a side gig, and you get a text or an email, whatever it is, saying, "Hey, we've got a part-time job for you. All you got to do is sign up." Well, what's the job? All you got to do is sign up. Well, what's the job? All you got to do is pay us $50. What's the job? So if it's a mysterious thing like that, that's something to watch out for. The romance, and there's another one, I didn't have time to put that up yet, but that's real insidious. They'll find somebody who is alone, and these agencies will do research with the Facebook and everything else. They'll find out about somebody, and contact that person, pretending to be, a potential suitor. And again, I've been a recipient of some of these, and say, okay, well, I'm really interested. And it's a long, slow thing. It'll go on for months, maybe years, where they'll just start out being friendly and interested and want to know more about you. And then eventually it's, I want to come see you. Of course, I'm living in a different country. But on the way to the airport, my car broke down, and now I need $3,500 to fix the car, and I missed my flight, so I got to get. And so you send them some more money so they can come and visit you. As I mentioned before, sometimes you think, well, who's going to fall for that? Well, maybe nobody here would, but you might know somebody who could. So that's part of the thing to get this spread around. Now a similar one to the romance is given the unfortunate name of pig butchering. That's more of an investment scheme, and the interesting thing about that is they'll tell you this great investment, and you put $1,000 in there, and 3 weeks later they'll say, hey, we've got money for you. We already made $200 for you. And they'll actually give you the $200. Of course, they still have $800 of your money, but they'll say, hey, a 20% return in 3 weeks, that's great. Now, all you do make it $5,000, and there'll be even more of a return. And you make it $10,000, and we'll make even more money. And so they'll just bring you along. And like I said, they'll actually make it seem real by sending you some of your own money back. Let's see. And, the Nigerian prince, we're pretty much familiar with that. It's called that, but it has a lot of different iterations. And it actually goes back to Sir Walter Raleigh, where he captured, I think it was the Spanish fleet or something, and saved Britain from bankruptcy. And so then in the 19th century, there were people going around saying, hey, we found out that you are a descendant of one of the investors of Raleigh, and you are entitled to 5% of the take, which is $1 billion, and all I need is some money to go and get it for you. That's the key thing. There's this vast amount of money, and you are entitled to it or a part of it, and all I need is some help to get it. The legal fees or filing fees or research fees. I got to get a certified copy of the document that says, and then it's little by little. It's $100 here, it's $500, it's $2,500, just a little more and a little more and a little more, and that's how they'll bring you in. The Craigslist, I need to do a little more research on that myself to find out exactly how it works, but it's basically you put something on Craigslist and immediately get a response, and they're willing to pay even more than your asking price. And somehow that works itself around to you sell them their item and then their check bounces or something like that. Okay, so finally on to the next page.
You forgot the church scams.
Oh, yes.
That many people here will have got, I mean, so one thing is to be very careful to not have the directory be accessible to outside people. I mean, in the last church I served, I was getting texts from myself telling me that Reverend Cindy was asking for X, Y, and Z, So, but people fell for it. I mean, or they came really close to it. So that's one that's really pertinent.
Volunteer fire departments are getting that too.
Yeah.
Can you repeat just the essence of that into the microphone?
About the
Okay.
scams.
Yeah, there are church scams where the scammers will get a hold of the church directory and send out pleas for money. Saying this is from our minister or our chairman of the board of trustees or whatever, and so we need your donations now. But
Or they'll even say, I'm heading into a meeting right now, I want to talk to you later, can you get back to me? So it's then engaging in that relationship building thing.
Yep. And again, to repeat, to build a relationship of donating maybe a little money and then a little more and a little more. So some of the things they have in common. Urgency. This has to be done right away. Don't hang up the phone. You must stay on the phone with me, because if you hang up the phone, that warrant will be issued, or this has to happen right away. The grandson who's in jail, it has to happen right now, because they don't want you to think. If you are in a state of panic, again, you get a phone call 3 o'clock in the morning pretending to be from your grandson, it rings alarm bells. And they don't want you to stop and think, so they just keep on the urgency. I put blame, help, and threat all together because it can go from one to the next to the next. Is that, you've made a mistake in the refund. We put in, you're supposed to get $450 on the refund, but you put in $4,500, and so now you have to refund us the $4,000. And you got to help us with that, because otherwise I'm going to lose my job, and you'll have money that doesn't belong to you. Or if that doesn't work, they'll threaten you. Again, be behind the bars. Another common thing is the windfall. Who doesn't like to get a check that you didn't expect? Well, that can happen, but at the same time, again, that ties in, let's say, with the sweepstakes that you didn't enter. Methods. I put AnyDesk there. Now, AnyDesk is a legitimate company, and they try to fight scams, but what they're being used for is that when the scammers hook somebody in, they'll say, okay, download AnyDesk, and then they can take over your computer and get into your bank account. That's the method that they use. The gift cards. I think that one is being so well known that they're starting to abandon it. Where, do you really think that Amazon is going to call you up and ask you to go to Target to buy gift cards, to send, and read the numbers off to them? That just, and you go to Target, there's a sign right there saying, don't use gift cards to pay debts. It's probably a scam. So I think that one's kind of going, by the way, in favor of the Bitcoin ATM machines. I haven't seen one, but I've heard about them, that there are machines where you can actually buy Bitcoin and put it into their wallet in a machine. And again, the cash withdrawal, in order to repay us this money or to get your refund or whatever it is they're scamming you with, You need to go to your bank and take out $10,000 and take the bills and put them in between the pages of a book and wrap it up in aluminum foil and put it in a box and send it to their money mule. Again, they really hooked somebody in if they're going to take it that far. The wire transfer, similarly, go to your bank and transfer money into our account. Let's see. Okay. Ways that you can protect yourself. Now,
True.
yeah.
Just a comment. A lot of these techniques and et cetera don't sound terribly different than the way our government's actually functioning.
It's true.
Well, yeah, the panic, the urgency. This has to be done right away. Yeah.
Well, and the intimidation all over the place, for government workers in particular.
Well,
So we can't rely on our government to be a backstop, that's for sure.
well, that's an interesting point of discussion, and I can't really get into it right now. But anyway, these are outfits, you know, and I can't really endorse any of them, but I just know that they're out there. They all have different programs and different ways that they can afford some protection. Mostly, yeah, they're basically all internet things where they can provide you with firewalls and they can detect scams before they come up. And you could help me out here. Yeah, well, I'm not sure exactly what Guardio does, but yes, they scan, they watch what you're doing.
Like things where that pops up as an ad. So I've seen that ad for Guardio so many times that I've never heard of a few of those. But
Yeah.
it's supposed to, yes, scan your computer like multiple times a day.
Yeah, Guardio scanning your computer. I subscribe to Aura, and I'm not really sure what they do, but you know, it's a level of protection. Let's see now. I'm gonna move on to.
I don't know that how many of those, how much some of those cost though, because I know Guardio isn't free.
No, they're not.
If you really want to get protection, then
Well, now here's the thing about the freebies. If a service is offered for free, you are the product. And sometimes that's okay. I mean, I go to weather.com and I get ads. It's like, yeah, I get the weather report for free and I get to see ads. So that's all right with me, as long as you know what's going on here. Okay, the do's and don'ts. Don't click on their link. They send you an email and saying, you know, for further information, click here. Don't do that. Or call their phone number. I got a phone call where they said that they were from NYSEG and that my power was going to be cut off in 72 hours for non-payment. And they gave me a phone number to call to straighten it all out. Yeah, I didn't call that number. Instead, I got onto the computer and looked up my own NYSEG account, and I knew that I was up to date, and that's what it said. And then I called NYSEG myself, not with their number, but with the number that NYSEG gives me, and they confirmed, yeah, you're up to date. So don't click on their link, don't call their number. Do call your own bank or your own vendor. Don't pay with a gift card. We covered that a minute ago. It's kind of obvious. Go ahead and ask for an employee name and ID number. They'll probably give it to you, whether they're scammers or not, but at least now you've got some information, and then you can go to, again, call your bank or call your utility company or whatever they claim to be and say, hey, does this person actually work for you? Let's see. Don't let them bully or intimidate you. We were talking about that just a minute ago. It ties in with that business about urgency, about you must do this right now or else. well, don't let them bully you. I mean, if you do owe some money, yeah, okay, work it out. But with the bullying and the intimidation, you have to resist that and feel free to break contact, ask for help. And that's something that you should consider if you're talking to somebody who you're concerned might be a potential victim for scamming. To say, listen, cousin, sister, grandmother, if you get one of these calls, hang up on them, call me. So that they have a resource to reach out to say, hey, wait, is this legit or not? And if it is legit, you can work it out. If it's a credit card company and you're late on your bill, yeah, they'll make a deal with you. But if they are just trying to hurt you, then they won't make a deal. They just keep pushing on you. Scam baiters. Now, this is something where I've learned most of what I've been talking about here. I'm a YouTube hound. I watch more YouTube than I probably ought. These are some of the outfits. There's a bunch more, but these are the ones that I've noticed. Scammer Payback is my favorite because this guy really hates scammers. And a lot of these have grown over the years because they started out just getting a hold of scammers, and they pretend to be potential victims. They have voice changers, and they can set up these scenarios, and they started out just wasting the scammer's time because, okay, if they're wasting time on one of the scam baiters, then they're not actually scamming somebody else. But they've developed, and this guy at Scammer Payback, he's got 7 people working for him, and he's gotten to the point where he will actually hack into their computer, download their files, and then disable their computer. Kit Boga is a guy, yeah, he strings them along, and he comes up with all sorts of silly scenarios, but at the same time, what he's done is he's developed a couple of AI programs where there'll be an AI program that it pretends to be a potential victim, and then the scammer is just spending his time talking to a computer program and not even knowing it. Trilogy Media, they go after scammers themselves. They've actually confronted some of the money mules. Pleasant Green, he actually has a very broad scam baiting venue, if you will, that he won't just be the internet scammers, but it'll be investment scammers, it'll be a whole range. And Renoa Poison, she's this great extemporaneous scam baiter where she will tease them terribly. She'll continuously interrupt them while they're trying to explain something or trying to scam her, and she'll interrupt them with something that's completely irrelevant and really get on their nerves. So if you want to watch the scammers squirm, get onto YouTube and get onto any of these, and you'll watch how that's done. But the other aspect of it is you get to learn how these scammers try to operate with some of the other things that I've covered before. You'll see how they take that person step by step and develop that into a scam. So those are the things that you can do to protect yourself. And as Scammer Payback guy says, don't get scammed.